Last night, this area pretty much looked like a lake, and I want to show you a little bit of what the water residue left here. You can see water reached almost this high just moments ago. Benjamin Small turned himself in here to the Davidson County Sheriff's Office with his hand in handcuffs and his legs shackled. The park is now looking to put in more guidelines. Right now, people don't have to stick to the trail. They can go as they please. Police believe it started a little bit before 4 o'clock Tuesday morning. Now, I want to show you some of the damage here. Here you can see one of the tires that police believe was slashed early this morning. This is just one of the businesses. The economy plays a huge factor in the number of highway crashes. They believe that once the economy is up, more people fill their tanks and head out for weekends, which increases the likelihood of accidents. Snapchat has a filter in its app that lets its users know just how fast they're going. And while Snapchat doesn't encourage users to use it while behind the wheel, the temptation is there. Yeah, Rob, I'm at the corner of Winslow Street and East Green Drive where all of this happened last night. People who went to that vigil tell me that 7 people were struck during a drive-by shooting. Now, while all of that was happening, those bullets were flying all over the place, and there are still some remnants or fragments of that still lingering around. Here you can see that shell here right next to this bottle cap. Now, all of this has people shaken up. Tuesday evening, dozens of people were celebrating the life of Alfonso Macer. Macer was killed Monday afternoon. Investigators say he'd been shot several times before crashing his car into a light pole.
And not one person had a time to even sit down and mourn this man's death.
Hours following this vigil,
seen a car pull at the top of the hill, and I thought it was firecrackers.
But it was gunfire aimed at the corner of Winslow Street and East Green.
People were screaming they was hit, and everybody just started running.
In total, police say 7 people were shot. One person's injuries said to be serious.
It's already hard trying to explain to your son that he won't see his father no more. And then, let alone to have all this happen and it's still continuing.
Courtney Gray is the mother of one of Macer's kids. She tells me just moments before the shots, all of his kids were outside.
It's gonna be hard for me to try to protect these kids of his and try to keep them out the streets.
Out on the streets, spent shell casings still scattered around. One of the shots fired hit Trina Briggs' home.
We can't sleep around him. And for us to not be able to sleep, I can understand them kids, all of them little.
Now Briggs and Gray are both praying for peace. If not for them, then the kids.
It's gonna be a continuous thing. It's gonna be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and everybody just needs to completely stop it.
For many drivers, a license means freedom to hit the roads. Others, it represents more.
Having this car feels like I have a piece of paper that has my name, my picture, and that I belong somewhere.
That card is not a traditional driver's license, but one created by a nonprofit.
It's amazing how a small car with your picture on it can make a huge difference in how you feel.
Faith Action International House started making these cards when they noticed crimes weren't being reported.
We said we have a problem here.
Faith Action then started working with Greensboro Police on how to gain the trust of the community, and eventually they did.
It saves our officers a tremendous amount of time. Every time we write a citation to someone who doesn't have an ID, we have to take them to jail.
GPD is one of dozens of local police departments and sheriff's offices that support the group.
What it is a tool that law enforcement, certain health agencies, businesses, and others can use to better identify, serve, and protect our diverse community.
Reverend Fracaro says the IDs aren't just limited to immigrants, but anyone who has a difficult time getting that state ID.
This doesn't have the power, unfortunately, to be a government-issued ID or a driver's license, and nobody's pretending that it is.
But this plastic card from Miguel Fuentes carries a lot of weight.
I want to feel that I belong to a place, even though that I've been living on this area for the last 15 years.
In Greensboro, Rilwan Balogun, Spectrum News.
Did he just leave the playbooks?
There's only one topic of discussion around the tables at Putters in Wake Forest.
I mean, he probably kept some copies when he from his time.
They're talking about the firing of Wake Forest alum Tommy Elrod from the university's radio team.
He's been a great play-by-play announcer, so we want to know more as to why that trust has been violated.
After the Demon Deacons game against Louisville, the university did an investigation to see if game plays were leaked.
Who knows how far it's been dispersed around between coaches.
The university says it found that Elrod, a former player and assistant, had provided confidential game preparation information. In a statement, the athletic director, Ron Wellman, says in part, "I'm deeply disappointed that he would act against Wake Forest, our football team, and our fans."
Put our players and our program at disadvantage before we even took the fields.
Fans are left wondering about the impact on the outcome of the season.
It depends on how many people got their hands on it. It could definitely affect their season.
Herschel Redding is happy the university noticed this was happening and controlled it, but now he wants more answers.
I don't know his side of the story either, so I'd like to know what's going down from Mr. Elrod's perspective.
Others are asking for another investigation.
We should try to figure out who else has copies of the playbooks.
But the university says they're moving on. In a statement, Coach Clausen says, "My staff and I are focused on Temple and preparing the team for the Military Bowl." And fans are hoping to get a win.
I'm hoping that they can, the coach can put them on the right path, come out and get a W there.
In Winston-Salem, Rilwan Balogun, Time Warner Cable News.